You know, we talk oftentimes about people that need some help at home, hospice, in-home hospice, things like that. Usually we're talking about elderly people. But there are some times when you have someone that needs some extra care that are, dealing with an incurable disease. It doesn't matter if they're young or old. So what do you do then? Well, you would definitely want to call in a specialist on that. So we have Carrie Mattern, who is with Hospice Compassus. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Well, good. Glad to have you on the show. Let's talk a little bit first about exactly what is Hospice Compassus.
Okay. Hospice Compassus is, we are a hospice company, and we take care of patients who are in their end-of-life journey, and we work to make sure that their quality of life is the best that it can be throughout that journey.
Now, you're talking about end-of-life journey, and as we mentioned before, it may not necessarily be someone who is in their 70s, 80s, or elderly. It could be someone younger, because you're talking about end-of-life journey. You're talking someone that is dealing with an incurable disease.
Correct. So the age doesn't matter when you're talking about hospice. We can care for anybody as long as they're at a stage that there are no curative measures available for treatment for their disease.
Why Compassus? I mean, it's Compassus, hospice, and palliative care.
Right.
Kind of explain what all that is.
Well, hospice and palliative care, what we focus on, we've already mentioned that there aren't any curative measures for the disease that person's going through.
Right.
So what we focus on is the whole person, and we focus on making sure that their quality of life is the best that it can be. We are well trained in symptom management and pain management, so that we can make sure that that patient's physically comfortable, so that they can address the other things in their life, whether it be spiritual or social or anything going on in their life. So we get them comfortable physically first, and then move on to make sure that they're comfortable in the other aspects of their life.
Because for the most part, you think about it, and someone that has a loved one in their family that all of a sudden comes down with this debilitating disease, and they know that it cannot be cured. They're, for the most part, they're not trained in knowing how to deal with things like this.
Right.
They don't. It's like, what do I do? I mean, what are some of the things that I do? How do I take care of this? I mean, they're feeling uncomfortable or whatever, and that's where you come in.
Right.
Or Compassus.
Yeah, we have an interdisciplinary care team, so we are physician-led, and so our medical director is the leader in our team, and then we have a registered nurse case manager. We have social workers and spiritual care coordinators who work together in collaboration to develop a plan of care to meet the patient's needs and get them comfortable. In addition to that, we have hospice aides who help with personal care. We also have volunteers and other support staff.
Let's talk about what the steps that you need to take. You find out someone, has, again, an incurable disease, or let's say that you've known they've had this at some point, they've been under treatment for a while, but there's a point where nothing else can be done. You want to make their final years on earth comfortable ones. What are the steps that they need to take to get you involved?
To get us involved, you can speak with your physician, whether it's a specialist or your primary care physician, and let them know that you're interested in hospice as a treatment option, or you can call us directly and we can start that conversation, and we can come out to your home, and there's no cost to the patient or to the family, and let them know a little bit more in-depth information about what hospice is and what we can do to care for them and help them through their journey. Is
there a charge for this evaluation?
There isn't. There's no charge, so we can come out anytime. We are a 24/7 company, so someone's always available to come and meet with you. And also, people may not know that it's a benefit under Medicare and Medicaid that's 100% covered, so there's no out-of-pocket cost for patients or families.
Wow.
Yeah. And most of the private insurances now have a hospice benefit as well.
So that helps out, so your out-of-pocket, if any, is minimal.
Right. Absolutely.
Kind of thing, because having to deal with something like this, if you don't have the proper insurance, I mean, and I'm sure that you have some programs that if someone doesn't have it, but of course, you're usually Medicare or Medicaid, that's going to come into play, at some point.
Right. Right.
So let's talk about your crew, your care team. You mentioned the doctors, the hospice nurses. What are some of the things that whenever they come into the home? What are some of the things that they do?
So let me clarify on when we come into the home, because when we come into the home, it's wherever that patient lives. So it could be a nursing home, an assisted living facility, personal care home, or their residence. So when we come in, we provide support. The registered case manager will make sure that from a disease progress, then they're looking at the, what's going on with them with their specific disease. And then we plan according to that disease and make sure that, we have everything, even anticipatory meds, making sure that they're in the home so that if they get into a crisis, then they're able to stay at home and we can, triage them and get them comfortable there in their home without them having to go out. And then we have the other support with the social worker who helps, link with community resources, and our spiritual care coordinator who helps with spiritual needs in the journey, and then our hospice aides who tend to their personal needs.
So, saying that someone does have, I'll just say cancer, it's an incurable stage. They spend time with them. I guess take care of as far as needs that their caregivers can't or don't have time to, because usually the caregivers end up being their children, someone like that, and they just don't have time for doing certain, I guess, simple things. I don't know. Do you help go to the store or doctor's runs or doctor's runs or?
Yeah, we don't. No, we can help coordinate those things, but that's not something that we do. So we don't take over the care. We support the caregiver where they are,
Gotcha.
And we train them to take care of them because they are the 24-hour caregiver, and so then we're available to them 24/7. We can make visits midnight whenever to help them through and to get them comfortable with caring for them. So we're a supportive team, and we come in and we train them, and if there are things that they can't do, then we do take over that care, but most of the time we can train the caregiver to do whatever it is that we need to in the way of treatment.
Who is eligible for this? Anyone?
Anyone is eligible if they have an incurable disease.
Well, yeah.
So, as long as two physicians say that, they're terminally ill or have no other treatment options for their disease, and they've progressed along the way to the point that they meet the criteria for hospice.
What areas of the Gulf Coast do y'all cover?
We cover 5 counties on the coast: Jackson, Harrison, Hancock, Pearl River, and Stone. And then we're in 29 states, so we're not just local.
Yeah. So it is nationwide.
It is. So we're not just local. So we have several different programs throughout the states.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, our time is about up, so I just want to say thank you for being here with us. If you'd like some more information, the website's on the screen there, hospicecompassus.com.
Yes.
And or you can call the toll-free number if you want to set up a meeting with them. And again, the evaluation is no charge.
Correct.
Which is absolutely wonderful.
Yes.
Great. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Take care. Also, again, if you need some help, give them a call. They'll be glad to talk to you.